Morning students. In the previous lecture we are discussing with the pattern of magnetic field of straight wire, current carrying loop, solenoid, etc. Okay. Now in this lecture we start force experienced by a current carrying conductor when placed in magnetic field. Once again, the force experienced by a current carrying conductor in magnetic field, that is F is equal to IBL sine theta. For theta is equal to 90 degree, sine 90 is equal to 1. Then if we put this value in this, then we get F maximum value IBL sine 90. Since sine 90 is 1, so we get F maximum is equal to IBL. This also be written as BIL, bell. Okay. So maximum force is IBL or bell. Okay. Now the definition of SI unit of magnetic field. What is the SI unit of magnetic field? This is Tesla. Okay. For this we know that F is equal to IBL sine theta. Now B is equal to F upon IL sine theta. If we put F is equal to 1 Newton, L is equal to 1 meter and I is equal to 1 ampere, theta is equal to 90 degree in this formula, then we get B is equal to 1 Tesla. Okay, thus magnetic field is 1 Tesla. Magnetic field is 1 Tesla if a conductor of unit length, it means L is equal to 1 meter, carrying a current of 1 ampere, experiences a force of 1 Newton when placed perpendicular to the magnetic field. Perpendicular means theta is equal to 90 degree. Then magnetic field is 1 Tesla. Okay, this is the definition of 1 Tesla. Okay, now another phenomena, electromagnetic induction is there, EMI. Okay, the phenomena of inducing an electric current due to the change in magnetic field is called electromagnetic induction. Once again, the phenomena of inducing an electric current due to the change in magnetic field is called electromagnetic induction. Very famous application of electromagnetic induction is AC generator, but this year this is not a part of syllabus. Okay, electric motor is a device used to convert electric energy into mechanical energy. Okay, it works on the principle that when a current carrying conductor is placed in magnetic field, when a current carrying conductor is placed in magnetic field, then it experiences a force, and this principle is known as magnetism. Okay, now the some parts of electric motor are, the first is armature. Armature is the rectangular coil, okay, of insulated copper wire. This coil is mounted on an axle so that it can rotate freely. Okay, the rectangular coil is mounted on axle so that it can rotate freely. Okay, now the split rings are connected to armature Armature means rectangular coil. Armature means rectangular coil. Split rings are connected to armature and they are used to reverse. They are used to reverse the direction of current flowing through the coil after every half rotation. Once again, split rings are used to reverse the direction of current after every half rotation. Okay? Now the carbon brushes. Carbon brushes press upon the two split rings. They are connected to split rings. Current to the galvanometer, current to the coil supplied through brushes, carbon brushes. Current to the coil supplied through carbon brushes. Okay, without carbon brushes, if we supply the current, then after half rotation the wires are twisted and broken. Okay, so now when how motor works? So when the forces in two vertical arms are A, B, C and D. When the forces in two vertical arms A, B and C, D are equal and opposite, then they cancel each other. But in this case, this does not happen because they have different line of action. When the forces are equal and opposite, they cancel each other. But in this case, this cannot happen because they have different line of action. So the coil starts rotating like this. One force is on this line and another force is on this line. Then two forces starts rotating the coil and motor works. Now the rotation of electric motor depends on some factors. What are the factors? First is the current flowing in coil. Second, number of turns in coil. Third is area of cross section of coil. And fourth is strength of magnetic field in which coil is placed. And the last is material of core. Okay? Now the three rules to find the direction of magnetic field are there. The first is right hand thumb rule. According to the right hand thumb rule, when a current carrying conductor means wire, supposed to be held in right hand, okay, like this. Then if thumb represent the direction of current, tips of finger represent the direction of magnetic field. This marker is like a wire or conductor. Then if the thumb represent the direction of current, then tips of finger, this direction is the direction of magnetic field. Okay, for example, for upward current, when the current is in upward direction, then this is anti-clockwise direction. So the magnetic field is anti-clockwise, and that end of coil behaves as North pole. Where the current is upward, magnetic field is anti-clockwise, then phase behaves like north pole. Okay, for downward current, you can see that this is clockwise direction. Okay, in clockwise south pole. Okay, now the Fleming left hand rule. In case of Fleming left hand rule, first is stretched out forefinger, middle finger and thumb of your left hand such that they are mutually perpendicular to each other. मीन्स एक दूसरे से परपेंडिकुलर होने चाहिए. ठीक है, यहां पे आप देख रहे होंगे कि एक दूसरे से वो कैसे हैं, परपेंडिकुलर. ओके, सो स्ट्रेच्ड आउट forefinger, middle finger and thumb of your left hand such that they are mutually perpendicular to each other. Okay, then if forefinger gives the direction of magnetic field, forefinger gives the direction of magnetic field, middle finger gives the direction of current, then thumb will represent the direction of force like this. This represent magnetic field B. This represent current I. Okay, current. This represent force. So the shortcut to learn this is force means father, magnetic field M means mother, current means child. Okay, force means father, magnetic field means mother and current means child. So father, mother, child is the shortcut to learn this rule. Okay, this rule we apply when current is conventional current. In case of magnetism we apply Fleming left hand rule. Okay, now the Fleming right hand rule. In case of Fleming right hand rule, stretched out forefinger, middle finger and thumb of your right hand such that they are mutually perpendicular to each other. Okay, like this. If you are able to see, then this thumb, forefinger and middle finger. Okay, now if forefinger gives the direction of magnetic field, if forefinger gives the direction of magnetic field, thumb gives the direction of force. Now the order are changed as compared to left hand rule. Forefinger gives the direction of magnetic field, thumb gives the direction of force or motion. Then middle finger will represent the direction of induced current. In this case we are dealing with induced current. Okay, so once again, if forefinger gives the direction of magnetic field, thumb gives the direction of force or motion, then middle finger will represent the direction of induced current. Okay, like this. If this thumb represents the direction of motion, this magnetic field, and then this middle finger represent the direction of induced current. We use this in case of electric generator. This rule we apply when current is induced current, and in case of generator the current is induced current. So the principle of generator is electromagnetic induction, and in generator, to find the direction of current we use Fleming right hand rule. Okay. In case of electric motor, we have magnetism. So we use Fleming left hand rule to find the direction of motion of coil. Okay. In case of motor, we use Fleming left hand rule, and in case of generator, we use Fleming right hand rule. Always remember this. Fleming right hand rule we apply when current is induced current, and the current is induced when the phenomena is electromagnetic induction. Always remember this. Okay.